When Elon Musk said, in order to have clean air in the cities, we have to go electric. And we could not disagree to that. So if you also abide by the same, you have come to the right place. So hello and welcome. This is Himanshi Kaushik, your host of the day, and I would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on scope of batteries in electrical vehicle design. And I hope that you all are doing fine, safe, sound, and happy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about electric design and electric vehicles that we have in the world today, we have our expert with us. So I shall introduce you to our expert. We have Dr. Suresh Kumar Sudapatullah, sir, an associate professor, Power Systems Domain, School of Electronics and Electrical Engineering here with us. He has received his BTech and MTech from JNTU Kakinada in 2008 and 11 respectively, and has done his PhD degree from Vellore Institute of Technology. He is a magnetic personality who has issued more than 50 research articles in international journals and conferences. His research interests are site management, application of artificial intelligence techniques to power system problems, integration of distributed energy, and much more. Last but not the least, he also has achieved several awards like VIT Research Award 2016 and has been a technical committee member of international conferences as well. So, sir, it is a pleasure for us to be here, to be able to listen you in the webinar. And sir, looking forward for an amazing session, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for introducing. So now I can continue with my presentation. So today's presentation is topic is scope of batteries in electric vehicle design. So what is the outline of the presentation? First of all, why we need to go for EVs? What is the necessity of the electric vehicles in the current scenario? What are the components related to the electric vehicles and different types of EVs, followed by the need of the batteries. So what is the necessity of the batteries in electric vehicles and what are the different classifications of the batteries? Then after that, what is the choice of the battery? So there are so many batteries that are available in the market. So what is the better choice for the electric vehicle? Followed by the comparison of different battery types for the electric vehicles. So this is the outline of my presentation first. Now followed by the next. After that, why electric vehicles first? What is the need to move to the electric vehicles? So definitely we need to first discuss about the role of the EVs in the current scenario. So already as per the statistics, more than 30 to 40% global pollutions is majorly because of the two sectors. First one is called the power sector. So we are generating electricity from the different types of the power plants, such as nuclear, thermal power plant, and so on. And second important sector is called the transportation sector. So out of this 30% global pollution, majorly I'm talking about, the rest of there is other possibility of the pollution, but majorly the major sectors that affecting the environment is two. That is called the first one is called the pollution that is produced because of the power plants, different types of power plants, and second possibility is called the vehicles, the conventional vehicles we are using in our day-to-day life. So definitely governments needs to take certain initiative. So why we need to go for the EVs? What is the necessity of the EVs in the current scenario? So definitely we need to achieve the sustainable development goals. One of the important sustainable development goals is to use the renewable energy resources and use the different types of the power generation sources and even electric vehicles to minimize this pollution as much as possible. So definitely whenever we need to address this issue, societal issue, definitely we need to go for the one of the important choice is called the electric vehicles. Nowadays we are listening, even government is giving certain subsidies to promoting these EVs. So why they are promoting these EVs? So the major important thing is the declinement of the petrol and diesel reserves. So we are every day we are listening this news. So the there is a lot of increment in the petrol and diesel prices throughout the globe. And other way that the availability of the petrol and diesel is not there throughout the globe. So definitely we need to go for the other way of transportation sector that is comes under the category of the electric vehicles also. So there is no in future is related to the EVs. The EV market is significantly dominating from past 10 years or 15 years. Throughout the globe, the number of electric vehicles that is purchased by the customers is increasing day by day. So, but why it is increasing? Why the government is taking certain initiatives? Definitely, we need to think about our future. So, the two important points we need to consider, I can discuss in detail in the upcoming slide also. The two important things is nothing but we need to address the problems that is related to the petrol and diesel reserves, that is availability of the petrol and diesel reserves throughout the globe. And second important aspect is called the pollution that is released by the different types of the vehicles, particularly conventional vehicles, followed by the electricity that is generated by the different types of the power plants. So definitely in that way, we need to go for the EVs. So that's why the electric vehicles is required. So that is the. So further details, more details related to the EVs. The first important thing is nothing but already I discussed. In order to reduce the emission levels throughout the globe. Particularly if I'm going for the pure electric vehicle. So again, the electric vehicles is further classified into different types, such as battery electric vehicle, plug-in electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicle, and so on. So when I'm talking about the pure electric vehicles, the possible emissions that is produced by these electric vehicles are very, very low as compared to the conventional vehicles. And the second important is nothing but what is about the fuel cost. So we are listening. So continuously the fuel prices is increasing throughout the globe, particularly in India I'm talking about. So almost the fuel price is more than 100 rupees. Maybe in future it will reach to even 200 rupees also. If you are continuously using, everybody is using the diesel and petrol vehicle. So we are not having that much reserves and we are importing the petrol and diesel from the other countries. So we are totally depends upon the other countries to particularly for the related to the petrol diesel. So definitely as per their, whenever the dollar price is increased, so definitely the amount of the petrol and diesel price is parallelly increased. So we need to think as a country, we need to think about these aspects also. What is about the fuel cost? So whenever we are generating the electricity using renewable energy resources, so and we need to utilize the renewable energy resources. Suppose I can place a simple solar panel in my rooftop of my building, and I can place because India is having abundant solar irradiance that is available. So definitely we are able to generate the electricity by using solar panels. And ultimately, whenever we are generating the electricity using solar panels, so definitely the electricity demand. So there is other aspect. Whenever the number of EVs is increased, definitely the demand of the electricity is also increased. But we are having a solution to counter attack this. That means whenever, even though the demand of the electricity is increased, so we need to increase the number of solar panels throughout the country. And we are already government is initiating this. They are putting a lot of investment related to the electricity, particularly they are generating from the solar, wind, such as renewable energy resources. So in that aspect, definitely the fuel cost is one of the important aspects. The price of the electricity is less than petrol or diesel. So whenever, but another aspect, again, you are generating the electricity from the nuclear power plant or thermal power plant. Again, it is a concern. We need to increase the amount of the renewable energy resources and we need to generate the more electricity from the renewable energy resources. Definitely the fuel cost is ultimately less whenever we are using EV as compared to the conventional vehicles. And the next very, very important point here is the maintenance. So particularly if I'm talking about the diesel vehicles or petrol vehicles, the maintenance at least every 3 to 4 months we need to do proper maintenance. Then only your vehicle should be in a proper working condition. So for that maintenance cost, what is the maintenance cost we are spending? How much money we are spending for the maintenance cost? Because there should be a rotating parts. Simple transmission system is enough for the EV point of view. So definitely there is a possibility of the, so IC engine is not there, not required. So less friction, less maintenance, fewer moving parts. So as compared to the conventional vehicles, whenever we are using EVs, the maintenance cost related to the EVs is also less. And choice of the fuel, if I am talking about the hybrid vehicle, whenever I'm talking about the, again, electric vehicles is further classified to four important categories such as pure electric vehicle, battery operated electric vehicle, that is purely, there is no need of any type of the petrol and diesel as an input. And second important aspect is nothing but the plug-in electric vehicle. And third one is called hybrid electric vehicle. That means, so we can use parallelly the petrol or diesel, and parallelly we can use the electric vehicle, electricity as an input also. And one more important point is nothing but the emissions. What is about the emissions? The emissions that is produced by the conventional vehicles is very, very high. But whenever I'm talking about the electric vehicles, the emission that is produced by these electric vehicles is very less as compared to the conventional vehicles. So I hope everybody will understand why we need to proceed with respect to the electric vehicles. What is the necessity to go for the electric vehicles? So that is about the, I covered some of the important aspects why we need to move towards the electric vehicles. Next.
Sir, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but you're not audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you're audible now, but your presentation, I think,
It is
is
not moving. Yes, I'm checking that only.
yeah.
And why we need to move towards the electric vehicle? Now I can discuss. So what are the important components that is related to the EVs? So whenever I'm talking with respect to the EVs point of view, the important components is nothing but the motor, the suitable motor that is required for EV, and traction battery. So batteries is the one of the crucial in case of the EVs, the battery packs, and followed by the power electronics converters, that is power electronics and drives, DC to DC converter, and thermal system. These are the components, already it is visible what are the components. But major important components is nothing but the electric traction motor and followed by the battery pack. Now, what is the significance of the each and every what is the battery? What is the role of the battery? So today's major, our discussion is majorly related to the battery. So I'm not going too much details related to the motor, DC converter, and so on. So particularly if I'm talking about the BEV, that is battery electric vehicle. So battery plays a significant role. Suppose the major challenges, up to now we are discussing about the advantages, but the major challenge related to the EV. So why the people are thinking before proceeding to the electric vehicle? The major important challenging is nothing but the driving distance. That is called how much distance I need to travel. What is about my battery capacity? Battery up to what level? Suppose if I want to travel from Jalandhar to Delhi, so approximately 350 kilometers. So what is about my battery? The customer is having anxiety. So battery is sufficient or not sufficient? We are having a sufficient battery pack or not? So up to what distance my vehicle is traveling? So these are the important points. People they are thinking too much. Why we need to go for the EV? Suppose if I'm talking about the petrol and diesel vehicles, simply everywhere the petrol and diesel pumps are available, directly is moving towards to that particular diesel and petrol pump. Hardly it will take 2 to 3 minutes to is completely full your tank and he is moving further. But whenever we are talking about the EVs, there are two important challenges. First one is called the what is about the battery pack? How much rating of the battery pack that is required for my EV? How much distance maybe I need to travel with respect to the available battery pack? And second important is nothing but the What is about the range of the motor I need to consider? And the third important is nothing but the charging infrastructure. So everywhere that there is no charging facilities is not available. So again, it is a concern. So wherever the charging facilities is available, but even though it takes too much time to charge, but nowadays the technology is already there. So 30 to 40 minutes charging is enough to move to 100 kilometers driving. But the major concern here is nothing but the where is the charging stations. But government is already taking proper initiative everywhere within 5 to 10, within 5 years, we are seeing n number of charging stations in most of the highways in the country. So these problems is addressed. So definitely, but what is the battery pack and what is the safety related to the battery, safety related to the customer, that we need to think serious. So otherwise, we are seeing n number of losses. So there is a fire related to the electric vehicle. So there is a battery explosion related to the electric vehicle. So what safety standards we need to consider proper designing of the battery related to your electric vehicle. So these are the important components that is called battery. That second one is called charge port. We need to charge our EV using the different charging standards. And DC to DC converter. So whatever the input you are getting to your home, that is called AC, alternating current. But again, we need to convert AC to DC. So definitely we need DC to DC converter. Okay. This converts high voltage DC power from the battery pack to low voltage DC power needed to run the vehicle accessories. So not only to charge the battery, so we are having other accessories related to the electric vehicle. So for that, it requires DC power. Okay, every component is having its own significance related to the EV. So what is the role of the battery? It provides electricity to the power vehicle accessories. What is the role of the charging point? And after that, what is the role of the DC to DC converter? And why the motor is significant? Particularly, two are important. First one is called the battery. Second one is about the electric traction motor. So what size of the motor you are considering? What range, what is the capacity of the battery pack you are considering? Your driving range, your distance, the distance you have traveled is majorly depends upon the battery pack, followed by the traction motor. Followed with the next important component is called onboard charger. So what is onboard charger means? You have to take the incoming AC electricity supply. You are getting from the grid. You are getting the alternating current. And again, you need to convert that alternating current into DC power to charge your traction battery. So every time we need to charge our battery. So how you need to charge our battery? That charging is done by the onboard charger. So it also communicates the charging equipment and monitors the battery characteristics. So definitely, whenever we are designing the battery, we need to monitor the three important things always. What is the voltage that is required by your battery? What is about the current, charging current and discharging current related to the battery? What is about the temperature? So definitely your battery is facing important challenges related to the temperature. So too much temperature is very dangerous. There is a possibility of the fire explosion. We need to cool the battery always. So that is about the temperature. What is about the state of charge? That is, so same like particularly if I'm talking about the mobile phones. So we need to how you can charge our mobile phones. You cannot wait until your mobile phone is completely discharged. That means state of charge minimum, state of charge minimum. Minimum is 10%. If it is 10%, immediately we need to put the charge. So it should not be 0%. That is called SOC minimum. What is about you cannot charge your battery to the 100%. You can go up to 90 or 95%. That is safe to your battery. That means SOC minimum and SOC maximum is important parameter related to your battery, and followed by the power electronics controller. This is also one of the important area because so many people are getting jobs related to the power electronics controllers. So most of the EV companies, they are recruiting the engineers, particularly those who are good in power electronics. Suitable power electronics drive, so to control the speed of your motor and control the torque and you need to manage your EV in a proper way. Definitely we need the proper power electronics control. So what are the important components? Battery, charging point, DC to DC converter, the size of the electric traction motor, onboard charger, followed by the power electronics control. And definitely I'm talking about whenever suppose your vehicle is traveling for 300 kilometers, that much driving range is possible because your battery pack is very, very high. So whenever the battery pack size is high, definitely we need to protect our battery from the heat. So whenever your vehicle is in traveling condition, right now I'm talking about we are in the month of June. So the outside temperature is 45 degrees. So definitely what is about the outside temperature? Your vehicle is continuously running for 100 kilometers or 150 kilometers. Your battery is too much heated. That maybe if there is no proper cooling mechanism, there is a possibility of the explosion related to your battery. So that means what is about the followed by the traction battery pack? What is the size of the battery pack that is required for your motor, and followed by the electric transmission? These are the components so related to the electric vehicles. So major important is battery and the suitable size of the motor, followed by the power electronics controls. Further, what are the types of the electric vehicles? The types of the electric vehicles are such as, first already I'm talking about the EV, hybrid electric vehicle, plug-in electric vehicle, and mild hybrid electric vehicle. So what is EV? In EV, there is no IC engine. It is purely electric vehicle. There is no, there is, whenever it is a purely battery operated electric vehicle, no IC engine is required. The examples are Nissan Leaf, Tesla Model S. There are so many companies is developed purely electric vehicles. So there the battery pack size is extremely large. Yes. Next, followed by the second one is nothing but the hybrid vehicle. So again, you are having an anxiety. So my battery pack is sufficient or not? I am having a sufficient charging stations are there or not? Where the charging station is available? So there is other option that is called hybrid electric vehicle. That means whenever your battery is completely discharged, maybe you can run your vehicle with respect to your petrol and diesel. That means it is a combination of IC engine followed by the electric motor. That is called hybrid electric vehicle. And next one is called plug-in electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So that is called again IC engine is there and electric motor is also there. And mild hybrid vehicle, that's a turn off the engine and switch to the motor when the coasting and braking restarting quickly. So that is called, there are further classification that is called mild hybrid vehicle. So these are the four important classifications of the electric vehicles: pure electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid vehicle, and mild hybrid vehicle. It depends upon your interest. So if you are going for the pure electric vehicle, so if you want to go for the large driving range, so definitely the battery pack size is more. Ultimately, the cost of the vehicle is also more. Next. Now straight away I can proceed with respect to the batteries. What are the role of the batteries? Why we need to consider? What are the different types of the batteries that is available? So what different companies are using what type of batteries? What are the challenges? What type of important points that we need to consider for designing a suitable battery for our electric vehicle? So I'm not going for the basic discussion too much. So we are simply using the law of conservation of energy. That we are converting one form of energy to the other form. Here, the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So the chemical reaction between the electrodes and electrode which generates DC electricity. So here, so again, DC electricity we are generating, but I'm talking about the motors. We are using even AC motors also. So some of the companies, they are using BLDC motor in the electric vehicles, and some of the companies, particularly Tesla model vehicles, they are using induction motor. Induction motor is the AC motor. So that does not mean that only we are getting the input is AC. We need to use only AC motor. So it depends upon the different companies. They are using different types of the motors also. And further, coming to the further classification related to the motor, before proceeding to the batteries, first we need to know about some of the important parameters. How you can decide about the battery? What parameters that we need to consider? First one is called specific energy. That is called what energy per unit mass. Second one is called energy density. So how much amount of the energy that we need to store in a specific space or volume. That means space is one of the important constraint. So what is about your car range and car size? Suppose your car size is very small. Ultimately, the battery pack you are using that particular car, that should be automatically less. Automatically, your driving range of the vehicle is also less. And specific power, the third important parameter that we need to consider related to the batteries is called specific power. What is specific power? It is defined as the power output divided by its unit mass. And further followed by the different range of the voltages we need to use, maybe 12 volts, 36 volts. How many batteries you are connected in parallel and series? Your voltage is depends upon the number of battery packs that the number of batteries that is connected to form a battery pack. And suppose if I'm talking about the fourth and important is nothing but the ampere hour efficiency. Suppose if I'm talking about the battery, in your home also you are using the battery. But suppose if the power is gone, suppose 2 hours, 3 hours, the battery, maybe your inverter is working. Maybe in some other homes, they're having a capacity of even 6 hours also. How it decides? Maybe how your inverter is working for 6 hours. It depends upon the ampere hour capacity of your battery. So how you can decide about the ampere efficiency? It is the ratio of output ampere hours divided by the input ampere hours of a particular cell. If your ampere hour efficiency is more, that means your battery capacity is more. That means your driving range of the vehicle is also more. But that is about the ampere hour efficiency. And further, what type of battery that I need to consider for my EV? It depends upon the so many parameters, particularly specific energy density, specific power, the number of life cycles, and self-discharge rates. That is also important. So my battery is charged immediately and it will be discharged immediately. Suppose it takes 1 hour to charge the battery, so but it discharges within just half an hour. So that is not acceptable. What is about your self-discharge rate of the battery? So for different batteries, it should be different. Okay. So here I am talking about the classifications of the batteries, such as lead acid battery, followed by the lithium ion battery, aluminum air batteries, and so on. There are so many batteries, so many manufacturing companies are available. They are developing different types of the batteries. So what battery I need to consider for my vehicle? So it depends upon the so many parameters. So first I'm talking about the lead acid battery. So right now in the present scenario, most of the companies they are using lithium ion batteries, but some of the companies they are using even lead acid batteries also, aluminum air batteries and so on. But how we will decide what battery it is required? So it depends upon the so many other parameters also. So first I'm talking about the lead acid batteries. Okay. First I'm talking about the lead acid battery. So what is about the specific energy related to the lead acid battery? That is watt hour per kg. What is about the energy density? So these are varies with respect to the different types of the batteries. So what is about the ampere hour efficiency? That is 80%. And what is about the availability? That is also important. Simply said that, okay, lithium ion battery is best, you can use the lithium ion battery. But where the lithium ion resources is available? Every country is not having their lithium ion resources. So according to the availability, according to the self-discharge rate, and according to the number of life cycles. What is the meaning of life cycles? Life cycles means, for example, I can charge my vehicle 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Every time, suppose if I'm talking about the 3,000 or 4,000 life cycles are there, that means that my battery lifespan is more. Suppose we are seeing that within 2 years or 3 years, we need to change the batteries. So that is the major important drawback. Okay. The major important drawback is nothing but particularly if I'm talking about the electric vehicles, such as called what? The major important drawback is nothing but we need to repeatedly replace the battery. Maximum lifetime is maybe 2 years or maybe 3 years. After that, we need to replace the battery. So a lot of research is going on. People are doing a lot of research related to this area. Okay. So what is about the So what is about, it depends upon the so many parameters already I mentioned here. What is about the ampere hour efficiency? What is about the specific energy? What is about the energy density? What is about the life cycles? If I'm talking about the lead acid battery, the life cycle is up to 800. But what is about the recharge time? 8 hours, but 90% recharge is possible in first 1 hour itself. So this is about the important characteristics that we need to know about the battery, lead acid batteries. So followed with the second category of the batteries is called nickel based batteries, such as nickel, iron, nickel cadmium, nickel zinc, and so on. So it is having a high specific energy and more environmental friendliness. So again, we are talking about, so whenever I'm talking about the EVs, the important advantage is nothing but what? Environmental point of view. But once the battery is, suppose 3 years the battery is over, so where we need to dispose this particular battery, it does not create further environmental problems. That is non-toxicity, high specific energy is one of the important advantages related to the nickel based batteries. Okay, so I cannot say that only one type of battery is better. So every battery having its own advantages and own disadvantages. So according to our requirement, according to the company requirement, according to the people requirement, they will choose the suitable battery for the electric vehicle. Next, the third and very, very important type of the batteries is called lithium based batteries. In lithium based batteries, most of the manufacturing companies, particularly Tesla model vehicles, they are using the batteries called lithium ion based batteries. So why it is they are using lithium ion based batteries? Again, I'm talking about the specific energy. You can observe here. The specific energy related to the lead acid batteries is only 20 to 35. But what is about the specific energy that is related to the lithium based batteries is 90 watt per kg. What is about the energy density? It is 54 to 95. But what is about the energy density related to the lithium ion battery? That is 153. What is about specific power? That is 300 watt per kg. And ampere hour efficiency is really good, particularly for the lithium ion battery. And self-discharge rate, that is battery charge immediately, it is not discharged. That the self-discharge rate is 10% per month. Every month, definitely, if you are using the battery, there should be a self-discharge rate. Simple example is you are using a mobile phone. So suppose you are purchasing one mobile phone in 2023. So what is about your self-discharge rate? Maybe in the first starting 6 months, the discharge rate is very low. After when the months is going on, what is about the discharge rate? Definitely the discharge rate is increased. Maybe 20%, 30%. So maybe initially your discharge rate is up to 4 hours or 5 hours you are getting the battery. It depends upon your usage also. But once the number of months is going on, definitely the self-discharge rate of your battery should be decreased. The same way you are continuously using the batteries, definitely that battery self-discharge rate is decreased whenever the number of months is going on. What is about the number of cycles? The number of cycles related to the lead acid battery is up to 800, but it is more than 1000 for the lithium ion based batteries. And recharge time is 2 to 3 hours, but initial recharge it takes very less time. Up to now, I'm talking about the 3 important categories, and out of this, which is the best? Next, followed by the choice of the battery. How you can decide about the choice of the battery for your vehicle. The choice of the battery is majorly depends upon your required power and range of your electric vehicle. Suppose your range of the vehicle is very low, it is 100 kilometers range only. Then you are not required huge capacity of the battery, and you are not required high horsepower of the motor also. So keywords for choosing the right battery is called what is about the required power of your motor, and second one, what is the driving range of your vehicle. So based upon these two, your battery pack design depends. The design of the battery pack is majorly depends upon only 2 parameters. First one is called what is about the required power, what is about the range of the vehicle, how much driving distance you need to travel your vehicle. And third important is nothing but the space available for your battery pack. How much space it is available? The space available is limited. So it is not possible to put more size of the battery pack. So definitely the space availability is also. And choice of the battery is majorly depends upon the two already discussed. First one is called required driving range. The range that you want for your vehicle determines the final size of the battery pack. So theoretically, if you can convert it into capacity, the second important thing about the battery power calculation. So what is about the battery? So it depends upon the peak power of the motor. What is peak power means? Peak power means the maximum power. 1 minute. Sorry. The peak power means, so what is the, suppose your vehicle is in the full speed. What is the peak power? Means how much power, the maximum power that your motor is operated. Your battery pack size is also depends upon the peak power demands. If the peak power demand is too much, definitely the maximum discharge current of the battery is possible. So in that case, two parameters, the choice of the battery. So what range of the battery, what size of the battery, that is majorly depends upon two important parameters. That is called driving range. And second one is called your motor capacity. So what is the peak power output of the motor? What is the peak current of the motor? These two questions we need to compulsory ask before deciding the size of the battery or choice of the battery pack for your vehicle. Next, operating temperature. And third important is nothing but the temperature. Operating temperature is also very, very important. Particularly if you're talking about the country like India. In India, particularly in the month of May, June, July, definitely we are having a high operating temperatures outside. That the combination, if I'm talking about the lithium batteries or lead acid batteries, what type of combination they are using inside the battery? That is called chemical composition I'm talking about. What type of chemical composition they are using? So some of the chemicals, maybe they are having a high fire explosion possibilities is also there. So I'm taking a simple example. So if I'm talking about the lithium ion batteries, that is LiFePO, our batteries are majorly suitable for the below 0 degrees. So if I'm talking about the high temperature, so definitely it is dangerous. Suppose your outside temperature is 40 degrees. So if your car is continuously in the running condition, so if the temperature is further increased by 10 to 15 degrees. So if your temperature is increased, then definitely the battery operating life, the life of the lifespan of the battery is totally degraded. That means what is about our outside temperature? So we need to provide a proper cooling mechanism while designing the batteries related to the electric vehicles. So why it is required? Because the outside temperature is 45, maybe 10 to 15 degrees, the temperature is increases. Maybe 60 degrees Celsius temperature, your battery is willing to withstand. So in that cases, we are listening outside particularly. So suppose proper manufacturing companies, they are not taking care about the cooling mechanism related to the batteries. We are seeing the news also, most of the electric vehicles, particularly local companies, they are not following specific standards that is given by the government. There is a possibility of the battery explosion and fire explosion. So the third important choice of the batteries that we need to consider is nothing but the what is the operating temperature, what is the cooling mechanism that is required for the batteries. So these are the three important points that we need to consider while choosing a suitable battery for our electric vehicle. So further, if I'm talking about the overall comparison, what is about the overall comparison that is related to the different types of the batteries? Which type of battery is suitable for which type of the, so what are the comparison? First, I'm talking about the cost. Lead acid batteries is cheap. It is available. Most of the manufacturing companies already in the market. So availability is high and maintenance required is, but it is cost is cheap, but estimated lifetime is very low. That means, so within 2 years, 3 years, the battery pack, you need to change the entire battery pack in your electric vehicle. So that you need to spend a lot of money. You need to invest a lot of money for that. But the advantage is what? So maximum the electricity that is used for your electric vehicle is very low as compared to the petrol and diesel prices. So your payback period is there, but initial the maintenance is one of the important maintenance that is required, but the battery maintenance. The cost point of view, lead acid battery is cheap and nickel based is expensive and lithium ion based is average. So, but why most of the manufacturing companies they are going for the lithium ion based batteries? Already I mentioned specific energy, energy density, and expected estimated life. So long 7 years, 8 years, we need to use the same battery pack. So it is not required to change the battery pack every time. So long life duration is possible. Estimated lifetime is possible for particularly for the EVs. And what is about the depth of discharge? So the depth of discharge is also important consideration. And climate, particularly I'm talking about countries, those are having a high temperatures. Definitely we need to consider the climate. According to the climate variation, what is about your battery heat, thermal runaway? So I need to discuss that points also. So these are the important comparisons. So based upon these comparisons, we'll get a conclusion that so most of the aspects, the lithium ion based battery is the best for the electric vehicles. And further, compared to the technical comparison point of view, specific energy, energy density, specific power to run 100 kilometers with 20 kilowatt hour. So what is about the mass of the battery that is required to run for at least 100 kilometers? So if I'm talking about the lead acid battery, definitely the specific energy is low, nickel. So what is about lithium ion battery? You can observe the lithium ion battery, what is the specific energy? 150 to 200 watt per kg. And what is about the energy density? It is also very high. What is about the specific power? It is almost equal to lead acid battery. What is about the if you want to run for 100 kilometers, 20 kilowatt hour for 100 kilometers, definitely. So what is about the mass reduction percentage? Most of the aspects, lithium ion battery is the best. So that's why we need to consider the lithium ion battery in most of the cases. Yes. Next. So finally, as per the life cycle point of view, as per the voltage point of view, as per the energy density point of view, as per the charging temperature and discharging temperature point of view, most of the aspects, the lithium ion battery is suitable. So efficiency is also 80 to 90%, charging temperature 0 to 45 degrees, and discharging temperature is minus 20 to even up to 60 degrees. We are not facing any type of problems related to the. So there are some of the I've highlighted here some of the important manufacturing companies that is related to the batteries. That is Tata Group, Amar Raja Batteries. That's one of the important manufacturing companies, particularly in India. So they are developing suitable batteries for the hero motor car and so on. And why the battery? Finally, I'm talking about the last important conclusion related to this particular topic. What is the safety standards? What is the safety is essential for the electric vehicles? So particularly I'm talking about in India. So we are having a harsh weather conditions. So we are 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. So whenever your vehicle is on road conditions, maybe it even crosses the 50 to 55 to 60 degrees Celsius. So definitely electric vehicle is running battery, only battery capacity is not enough. We need to protect our battery. The safety standards is important. Safety for the customer is very much essential. Otherwise, if there is a fire explosion, customers is not at all interested. They are trying to move towards the EV. So we are seeing some of the cases, but in future, we are not observing these fire explosions related to the batteries. So a lot of research is already going on how to protect your battery, particularly whenever the temperature levels are more than 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees. So your vehicle is continuously running. So definitely the battery, the safety concern is very, very important. So for that, what we need for that? So we need to use the different combinations of the chemical composition that we need to consider. So some of the chemical compositions talking about, so that is facing a problem of the fire explosion. So we need to, particularly Tesla vehicles, they are using lithium-ion battery, but anode and cathode combination should be different. Okay. So what is the safety standards? Why the safety is concerned? The main problem is nothing but thermal runaway. Thermal runaways happens inside the battery. So what happens because of the thermal runaway? Thermal runaway happens when there is a huge current flow. Whenever the thermal runaway happens, that means too much heat it is developed and a huge amount of the high amount of the current that is flowing to your battery cell. And temperature of the cell is drastically increased. Right? Then maybe one of the cell is affected, it is going to the other cells, and finally too much heat is developed in the entire battery pack. Finally, there is a possibility of the fire inside the battery. We need to provide suitable battery management system. So we need to develop the role of the engineer. So here, every engineer role is important. I'm not talking about EV, not only related to the electrical, mechanical engineer, design aspects point of view, mechanical engineer is required, electrical engineer is required, and I'm talking about the logic inside this. What is the logic we are using and how it is operated? So definitely the role of the electronics and communication engineer is required, followed by the computer science engineer is required. It is a combination of everything. So we need to protect our battery. So we need to write one algorithm inside it. So what is about the maximum temperature? So when the cooling system needs to be turned on. So how the battery catching fire? What parameters we need to consider? How to protect your battery, particularly from the thermal runaway. So what is thermal runaway? Because the thermal runaway with heat. Too much heat it is developed. Whenever the too much heat it is developed, definitely there is a possibility of the huge amount of the current that is flowing to your battery pack. Whenever the current is too much current that is flowing, the temperature of the battery that is increased. Whenever the temperature is too much, it is increased. Then there is a possibility of the thermal runaway and heat. Too much heat it is developed inside the battery. Finally, there is a possibility of the fire explosion. What causes thermal runaway? Huge current is flowing and battery catching fire. So why it is happens? Why it is happens? Particularly is called poor cell design, manufacturing flaws, external abuse of the cells, battery pack design or manufacturing, protection electronics device or manufacturing charge. So there are majorly why we need to go for the standard electric vehicles. Why we need to go for Tesla vehicles? Why we need to go for Tata Motor? So customer is thinking n number of aspects. They are designing they are following the safety standards that is given by the different governments, and finally they will design the battery pack, and based upon that design, we are not expecting any type of the fire, even though the temperature outside the system is increased. So whenever the design is perfect, there is no manufacturing flaws. There is no, definitely we are expecting, we need to completely address the issue that is related to the thermal run. Okay. So thermal runaway outcome is nothing but huge current flow in a particular battery cell. So it is consisting of n number of cells followed by the n number of battery packs. And n number of batteries are connected in series and parallel. If there is a fire explosion in one cell, maybe it is moving to the other cells. And finally, there is a permanent fire explosion inside the EV, and that is not at all safety for the customer. So definitely, as an engineer, we need to address this issue, and then only the customers are moving towards the electric vehicle. If you are not addressing these issues, so okay, no problem, we will design the vehicle. So people are purchasing the electric vehicle. It is not like that. So definitely, the engineering design plays a crucial role. So whenever we are designing a proper battery pack with proper safety standards, we are following the proper safety standards. We need to address this thermal runaway problem. Then only the customers are trusting, they are showing interest towards the electric vehicle. And safety is the important consideration. So without safety, so ultimately every time there is a possibility of it. So what is the safety means? Safety means we need to provide the cooling mechanism. Or another battery pack requires the cooling mechanism. A separate cooling mechanism it is required. So definitely maybe the overall cost related to the vehicle is also increased. whenever we are going for the quality, so the quality does not come, the quality comes only with the money. So whenever the company is spending money, lot of money, how to design the cooling mechanism, protect your battery, protect your motor, because we are operating with high voltages, we are operating with high power density, we are operating with the high ampere hour capacity. So definitely there is a possibility of the fire explosion. So what type of protection devices, what type of the protection environment that we need to provide inside the vehicle to completely eliminate the fire hazards in case of the EVs. And what is about the future of the EV batteries? So in future, chemistries will be cobalt free because cobalt is another unstable material, majorly that causes the fire. So lot of research is going on. Maybe they will move towards the sodium, or maybe they will move towards the other materials that is available, that does not produce any type of the fire, that completely eradicated the thermal runaway. So then only the customer is safety and your vehicle is safety. And therefore, the solid state electrolytes in the future, some of the developments maybe they take place. The research and development, they are doing a lot of research related to the batteries. Still, it is an ongoing research, so they will develop they need to increase the driving range, they need to increase the battery pack capacity, they need to increase the lifespan of the batteries, and they need to protect our battery, particularly in case of the whenever there is a heat or something that is developed inside the. And finally, overall conclusion related to the today's topic is majorly why we need to go for the electric vehicles, what are the advantages as compared to the conventional vehicles. So as a human beings and as a engineers, definitely we need to address the societal issues. One of the important societal issues that is called environmental issues, followed by the, so definitely we need to address these environmental issues. Otherwise, it causes a lot of damage to the people also. So definitely we need to address. So we need to promote the electric vehicles. The future is related to the electric vehicles. But what challenges we are facing? That is also important. Only promoting is not enough. So what type of challenges we are facing, particularly for the EVs, such as charging infrastructure, one of the important challenges, particularly in India, I'm talking about. And second one is nothing but the safety standards of the battery, how to design the suitable battery for the vehicle, and what are the safety standards related to your motor, and, and what type of battery that is required. So and out of this, all these conclusions, definitely lead acid batteries are there, lithium ion batteries, nickel cadmium batteries, metal air batteries. There are so many batteries and manufacturing companies are available related to the batteries. But outcome is related to the, in most of the cases, it is proved that lithium ion battery become the most popular for most of the EV companies. They are using lithium ion batteries because of the long life cycle, high energy capacity, high efficiency, and even eco-friendly environmental point of view, and even it does not produce any toxic gases and high safety level also. In all these aspects, definitely lithium-ion battery is the best. I'm not saying that it is the only the best. It depends upon the companies and their requirement and the customers' requirement also. Okay, so that is about the overall conclusion. How to decide the suitable batteries for our electric vehicle. So what parameters that we need to consider? Okay, and what parameters related to the safety standards, parameters related to the capacity standards, parameters related to the specific energy density, and so on. Okay, so this is about the overall conclusion. What is the scope of the batteries? Why the batteries is significant in electric vehicle design? Suppose if I am designing an electric vehicle, definitely the chemical engineer role is also significant. He will because he is having a very good knowledge about the batteries. So what are the batteries? What are the safety standards? How to protect the battery? What type of challenges the EVs are particularly facing whenever it is a purely battery electric vehicle. Okay, that is about the today's discussion. So thank you. Any other doubts and queries from your side?
Sir, first of all, thank you so much for giving this insightful and valuable presentation to us, to all the attendees, of course, and for guiding us through the problems and the way we can just, have the solution of that particular problem as well. So thank you so much, sir. And the last but not the least, a special vote of appreciation for the way that you've explained the full presentation. Like whatever you wanted to tell us, it was all coming in. So, sir, thank you so much for crediting your time, especially. And
Thank you.
sir, with your permission, can I take up a certain few questions from our attendees?
Yes, yes.
Sir, there's one question from Viraha Kumar, and he says, sir, is it possible that we can have electric vehicle charging ports in concised space?
Yes, already there are 4 types of charging are now it is available. That is called level 1, level 2, level 3, even DC fast charging stations are available. So a lot of research is going on how to decrease the size of the charging stations. So in the market already, so many companies has already developed this type of prototypes also. It is already available in the market.
Thank you, sir, for resolving this query. So we have another query from Ishani Hilal, and she says, sir, electric vehicles uses more power, hence resource, than normal petrol vehicle. So how is it called a sustainable option?
Exactly. This is a good question. That's why I said that we are generating the electricity from the renewable energy resources. Already, particularly in India, I'm talking about, we are having at least 250 days to 300 days sun is available throughout the 65 days. So we need to generate the electricity using solar power. And nowadays, they are developing even solar power charging stations also. So wherever the charging station they are developed outside, simply they are putting a rooftop solar panels on the charging stations. So definitely, whenever we are using the solar panels on the rooftop of the charging stations, that does not create any type of the problems related to the environmental point of view. In that way, it should be definitely we need to say that it is environmental friendly.
Sir, I totally agree. And thank you, sir, for resolving this query. And sir, with this, we have our last query, but not the
Yes.
least, of course. And this is from Radha Sharma. And she says that lithium-ion batteries are used in electric vehicles most popularly. So is it possible that we can use any other element to reduce the burden from lithium?
Yes, that's why I said right. There is different anode and cathode combinations are there. Maybe say Tesla model vehicles, they are using lithium-ion batteries, but the composition inside composition should be different. Battery is lithium-ion battery, but the anode and cathode combination should be different. So in Tesla model vehicles, they are using different composition. In other same Tesla vehicles, they are using different composition in other vehicles also. In 2022 onward, they are using different compositions to reduce the burden and to protect your battery, particularly from the fire explosions also.
Sir, thank you. And again, I agree with the answer that you've given. And sir, with this, we're done with the questionnaires that we've had from our attendees. And sir, I would like to thank you again for resolving the queries, for giving your time, for explaining the problems and the solution as well. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And sir, we've had a little other queries from our admission processes as well.
Okay.
So with your permission, can I show them up the
Yes,
website?
yes, yes.
Okay. So to all the attendees who've had certain queries regarding how they can take admissions, so this is going to be that one short problem resolution thing is lpu.in, lpu.in. You can see in here lpu.in. So you just need to simply type this in your browser, and this will be the interface that will be coming in front of you. You can see that all these are the highlights of the university. They might have either happened, they're presently happening, or they will be happening in the future. So all related to the university. Kindly explore the site. I promise you won't regret that. So now we're taking about admission. So in the chat box also, we've had a query from anonymous attendee, and he wanted to actually know how can someone come in, or how can someone, take part, and when should they come in. So I'll be just catering all the queries by taking a simple example of a course. So once we click on the admissions, we have whole segregated programs that are beautifully adjusted in here. You can see after 12th, after graduation, after post-graduation, doctoral, 10th, diploma, certificates, etc. So you should be knowing what you want to do, and you simply go to that particular program and click on the programs. Now, let's say an example of, let's say you have done your 12th grade and undergraduate, okay, and you want to take in an undergrad program. So I will be just clicking on the regular program after 12th. And once we click, we will be seeing a whole lot of disciplines that university has to provide to all the students. So you can see all the disciplines we have: library science, film and TV production, geography, physics, botany, engineering, computer science and engineering, computer applications, and a whole lot of others as well. So we'll be simply, since we're talking about a lot about electrical engineering, why not take an example of same electrical engineering? So once we click on engineering, we have all the different streams of electronic and electrical engineering, information technology, etc. So let's say we take an example of electrical and electronic engineering. And then we have the course that is given under that particular domain or discipline. So we simply click on the course, and these are the options or the knowledge or details that you would want to know about a certain course. So here we have all the options given in here, right? So we'll be just briefing them in the next minute. So in program details, when I click on the program detail, we see the eligibility criteria. You see the eligibility criteria here. So you need to explore if you're eligible for a particular course or not. See here, 60% aggregate marks should have been there in your 12th grade, and physics, maths, and English also should have been your subject also in your 12th. Along with, you should have either qualified JEE Main, CUET, or LPU NEST. So this is how you can actually find out the eligibility. Now I'll go down to highlight option. This highlight option actually gives you a basic idea of what placements do we have for that particular course, what research has been already going on, or maybe will be going on, all the highlights, and what all students have achieved under that particular course. The student of that particular course have achieved what will be given to you in highlight program. So now when I move a little down, we see all the rankings that a university have in relation to that particular course or particular domain. So now is the very interesting thing to note, students, is the curriculum. Now, LPU does provide you curriculum beforehand. Like, even if you do not take the admission, or even if you have not taken admission yet, you know that whatever topic you will be taught in first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. So you can see we have whole topics available in here: autumn term and spring term, and all the topics and the description of those particular topics are also given. So first year, second year, and third year, and that's how you can know, and you can make a disciplined decision whether you want to pursue a particular course or not, because you know that these are topics will be taught. So now you have an idea that what you will be taught, what you will be learning throughout the course. Now is important factor, and that is the fee. So once you click on this fee option, you can see 1,20,000 per semester is your fee, right? Now what happens is, this is okay, this fee is per semester, but this is not something that our students do pay usually. Why? Because they get a lot of scholarships. And on what basis? These are the basis of those scholarships. So our scholarships are basically divided into 3 categories: 1, 2, and 3. And the most highest scholarship you can avail at this time is 48% on your program fee. That is, your fee will be reduced to 62,400 per semester, but you need to fulfill these criteria, either of these criteria. So you need to just check in if you are eligible for that or not. Now, let's say you were not able to qualify under these categories. Do not be sad. We have other categories as well. So you can get scholarship based on your JEE Mains, and if you may have been a part of an entrepreneur or a startup, or if you are a topper of an board, then you can avail this scholarship, or we also give some financial aid as well. Now, last but not the least, is the important date. That question that was asked is that 25th May is the last date, and today is 24 already. So it's just one day. I'd request you to please kindly apply for the course and apply for the test. And how you can apply is simple. Click on apply now, and these are bare minimum requirements that will be asked from you. And once you come submit these, you will be given a dashboard, and then after that you can simply click on the course or click on the test and apply from there. So I hope that I've given you all the details as to how you can take admission in a particular course, or how you can find the details of the particular course or the domain. Now, if I could not address anything in the webinar, you may post in the Q&A box, or I'll give you a simple solution. You can simply schedule a call with us. You can either WhatsApp us. You can see that in the website only, we have options: schedule a call, WhatsApp us, or have a live video counseling session as well. And there was a question of visiting our campus. So if you are not able to visit our campus, then we have 360-degree views for you. So you can simply click on this, and the whole campus view will be given to you on your device. Now, last but not the least are the numbers that we have. You can see, you can either type, write it down, take a screenshot of them. These are the numbers you can call, and our counselors will be here to provide their assistance and to resolve your queries. So I hope that I've given you all the knowledge as to how you can take a particular course, how you can avail the scholarship, and how you can apply in lovely professional university. So with this, I'd also be mentioning about all the webinars that we have. Like this is the webinar that you've attended, right? But if you want to attend other webinars as well, so I'll be just posting a link in your chat box. You can simply explore the site. We have a whole lot of webinars that are coming in, and we have webinars every day. In which topic you feel that you're interested, just kindly register. It's free, and attend the webinar and gain the knowledge as much as you can. So with this, I'd ask sir, and I'd take the permission from all the attendees and participants as well to wrap this webinar up, sir. So can I? Okay. So sir, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for giving your time. And thank you so much to all the attendees as well for being here with us, for being so patient and valuable. And all your questions are really appreciated. So until next time, stay safe and stay healthy, and explore the site, explore the webinars, and meet you soon in the next webinar. Thank you so much for joining in.